What's shaking, people? Back with another reaction, back with some more Laura Branigan. And we're going back to her 1984 album Self-Control, though once again, this is a 2-disc deluxe edition. Once more, major shout out to big friend and champion of the channel, Scott. And we're up to the tune Heart, because we're skipping over Ti Amo, which I did react to as part of the Best of Branigan. And ultimately, yeah, Heart, it's a concept which, at least in most artistic forms, literature, music, and so on, relates to people's emotions, their feelings, sometimes their morality, but more often just the core of people's emotions. Now, as I often say when I talk about this concept, and without denigrating, millennia of that type of understanding and creative output of different, humans and human cultures, I would just say that our emotion flows from our brain, more generally the right side of our brain, or more specifically, but still very generally. So again, that's not to denigrate the heart in any way, but sometimes I feel like when people refer to heart in that way, it's contrasted against the brain, the idea that the brain is cold and unfeeling and just logical and calculating, but in fact all that inspiration, all that profound feeling that we can have at different moments, often when listening to music, it does initiate in the brain. Though to be fair, because of the way our different systems work, the feelings that result from that experience, they will reverberate throughout the body, and indeed you can feel in your chest and in your heart emotions in that way. So who knows, this might have nothing to do with that. It could be heart about perseverance. Sometimes you see it used in that context, the idea of, you gotta have heart, you gotta just, keep all that emotion, keep believing, keep pushing, and, the heart will be rewarded eventually. So I feel like there's a number of possibilities just with like major motifs that you often see in music and songwriting. And obviously it could be something very different from that, or at least, even if it touches on those things, there could be a very specific narrative that's not related to the concept necessarily. So I'll stop talking and we'll listen to it. This is Laura Branigan. The tune is Heart, and it's included, or not included, it's part of her 1984 album Self-Control. Bit of drama in those keys. Uncollected debt. But it was a heart that's already weary. like those guitar drum hits, like intense, powerful. Hello, guitar. Like when she gets that toughness. And then it's like sometimes she can extend with like a normal tone, and then other times she does the vibrato thing. Yeah, she's still doing that vocally. I feel like, producer, don't turn it down yet. But yeah, it does sound like, the idea of a heart that's already weary, so we may be talking about going through painful experiences, and she did make direct reference to pain. So maybe there is something to that, heart as endurance, heart as, feeling and pain, but also, tenacity, or the ability to carry on and to, try to find perhaps relief, or new love, or, a cessation of the pain. But either way, a really cool song vocally. I like the way she, again, like in some moments she's doing like a more true tone, other times she'll do a vibrato, and then sometimes it's like she's doing a vibrato and then she goes into a true tone, which I think is like less common, or and again, maybe like my technical understandings of these terms is not refined or sophisticated, but I enjoyed her vocal performance on that one. There's some moments where she really kind of held it, and toward the back half of the tunes, she really had some grit in a couple of the lines. I mentioned it before, like, I'm impressed by her vocal range and the different things she can do, and she can go very big and powerful, but I think my favorite thing of all is when she gets that edge to her voice, a bit of rasp, a bit of toughness to her delivery. There are a couple moments, again, especially in the latter phases of the tune, that hit on that flavor. So yeah, top tune, and yeah, I'm looking forward to the rest of this album, knowing as I go through it that it is pretty highly regarded, and that it is sort of critical, and I think also commercial success. So yeah, looking forward to the rest of it. Once again, shout out to Scott. The next time we come back, it's Will You Still Love Me Tomorrow, which, okay, so isn't that a Shirelles song? I think it's the Shirelles. I do, especially when I was younger, not so much in the last year or two, whereas I do have a playlist for Motown and sort of like 60s singing group music, which I should probably get back to more often. There's so much good stuff there that I am so much familiar with. But I think that's a Shirelles tune, Will You Still Love Me Tomorrow? So maybe it's a different song by the same name. Maybe I'm slightly, because sometimes it's like the line in the chorus isn't actually the name of the track, so maybe the Shirelles tune isn't actually called that. But I think it is. So assuming that that's a cover, I will look forward to that, because if it is a cover of that original, I know that one, and it'll be interesting to have a sense for comparison as we go through it. But who knows, maybe I'm wrong. Either way, once again, shout out to Scott, and as I've said before, when we're done with this, and a big shout out to Scott also for saying, maybe no need to go through the like 4 or 5 different versions of the title track, Self Control. I get that. I'll probably go through at least a couple of the alternative versions, but yeah, I don't want it to test the patience of the people following the Laura Branigan compilation or deep dive. And certainly at some point we can come back and maybe hit a couple of the others more down the line when it doesn't feel quite so overloaded. So in any case, we have another release to go through after this. So looking forward to it all. Let me know what you think of this. I will see you next time. Peace.